Today, I want to show you how to create a prompt, a ChatGPT prompt. So we're going to create it. We're going to create an actual GPT so that in the future, all you have to do is plug in some information on a product and it'll automatically create a product description for you. Product descriptions are really important for two reasons. For e-commerce, one is for the SEO. If Google doesn't know what the product is it a walking shoe, a hiking boot, a work boot, doesn't know to list it when people are searching for a walking shoe as an example. And then number two, and this is equally important in my point of view, is the fact that you also need to have a description that helps convert. Convert is really about specs and benefits, and it's really the benefit part that's beneficial. You need to let people know why X is going to be beneficial for their needs. People only buy when they have a problem and they feel comfortable, confident that you have the solution. So we want to build this in. The other thing we want to make sure is that we build in a brand identity, a brand voice into this prompt so that your product descriptions are consistent and they're on point with your brand. If you have a more formal brand, you should have a different voice, if you will, than something that's more quirky, fun, energetic. That should have its own voice. We want to make sure that we bake this into the prompt so we get the consistent outcomes that we want. And from a prompt difficulty level, I would call this a green on a scale of green, yellow, red, red being very difficult. This is definitely a green, super simple. I'm going to walk you through it in this video. And as you can see, I started out with a really simple prompt. The first thing we need to do is we need to let ChatGPT know kind of who are you? What am I doing? Well, you are a prompt engineer. I'm letting it know that I need it to work as a prompt engineer. So it's putting that hat on right now. It's got 10 years experience creating quality prompts for ChatGPT because that's the AI that we're going to be using. The second thing I'm going to let it know is what is the expectation. The expectation is to write a product description prompt for an e-commerce website. And you could even plug in the e-commerce website. The other thing, I'll give you a little pro tip I didn't put in here, is a lot of times I'll start off with, hey, do you know this brand? And I'll plug in whatever the brand is, ABC, and make sure that it knows that, oh yeah, I know this brand, so that when I put it in, I can then say, I'm going to have you write a product description prompt for the e-commerce site, insert brand name. The other thing I'm trying to do is I also want to focus ChatGPT on I don't want it to think about prompting in like just everything is available to it. I want it to focus on the description must be engaging, create interest for the user so they make a purchase. So I'm kind of telling it what the goal of this prompt is to kind of confine it, give it some focus on what it's going to do.
Quick interruption, Ryan here. If you're one of those people struggling with AI and trying to figure out how to make it work for you without pulling out your hair, I have put together a group where we're going to get together every 2 weeks online for an hour, talk about pain points, solutions, and figure it out together. So instead of watching another video trying to figure out how to do something and not being able to figure it out, just get together. Let's talk about it. Let's find those solutions. Best thing, cost only $20 a month for the first 10 people. Of course, there's more information down below.
ChatGPT jumps right in. It goes, okay, great. Here we go. We're going to do a product overview. We're going to touch on key benefits or features, excuse me. Features are great, but it's really the benefit that's super important. We're going to emphasize the emotional, practical benefit. People buy based on emotions, so that's super important. It's going to use persuasive language to create desire for the product. That is all awesome. It's going to talk about specs also, include testimonials, and have a call to action because people need to know what to do next. It also was great. It gave us an example of what the description might output. So product A by brand B is the ultimate solution, and we're going to target the problem or need, crafted with precision, designed for specific use or benefit. So this is really good. And what this is going to do, ultimately, it's going to let the customer know, or the user, is give them confidence really about is this the right product? right? If people know that, hey, I'm not familiar with this brand as an example, is this going to do what I need it to do? This type of prompt is going to give you that because it's going to let you know right up front, hey, this product, if you've got this problem, this product is really good for it because of this. Here's the benefits. The other thing I did, and I like doing this, is I want to always have ChatGPT reflect on what its initial output is. So what I've done here is I've stated that you are the supervisor for this prompt engineer. So now, here's the prompt engineer. I'm saying you're the supervisor looking over this prompt engineer. Based on your years of experience, what do you like about the prompt and what changes would you suggest? So I want to give it its own critical feedback on itself. And essentially it says the prompt covers all the essential aspects, engaging, persuasive language. It's got clear instructions. It includes testimonials, which creates credibility and does influence purchasing. Encourages personalization. It's SEO optimized. Tone of voice, though, it does say specifically the desired tone and voice for the description. It's saying we should probably know what the tone of voice is. Is it formal, conversational, humorous? So it's giving now us some feedback to help it really hone in on what that prompt is going to be. It's suggesting that we include visual elements, which are super important, USP, unique selling position, and pain points. So all this is really good information. It's giving us a revised product prompt, and is really good. Now, the one thing I've done is I let it know that for the website that I'm creating this for already has a section for testimonials. Pretty much any e-commerce has a place where people can leave reviews, 1 to 5 stars. That's on the product page. So I'm letting it know that, one, we don't need that testimonial section, and I'm going to handle the visual elements. They are not required. The other thing I've done, I'm going to give the prompt more context, and if you can give it context of something you like or you don't like, it really helps the prompt because, again, we're creating those guardrails of what to focus on, essentially. And so I gave it an example of a shoe prompt that we already have that has been written. It's approved. It matches the tone of voice of the brand. It's got all the features that we want. There are some problems with it. We've got a lot of text here in the front as an example. A couple of things you might notice is there are these double asterisks here. And what that does is it's basically saying it's bolding this text. So the way ChatGPT is reading this, it's going, oh, okay, this information is really important. This happens to be the style and the brand of the shoe within this product description. And so I'm letting ChatGPT know that, hey, this is kind of an important thing. I want you to make sure you emphasize it within your prompt. Now you'll notice we also in this description got a lot of bullet points, which is really important. I'm giving it a second example. This has got less text in the body. We've got a different way it's laying out the bullet points. It's not quite as streamlined as this is. So I'm giving it some examples. I'm trying to hone it in and really get it focused on what to do. Now, these examples, I really wanted it to focus on the tone and the voice. So I'm trying to give it examples of what the brand sounds like, not the structure. And you'll notice I used the double asterisks here going, look, you're the prompt engineer. I want you to fix the structure because I know this isn't good. However, what I do like is the fact that I like the way this reads. It's very, it flows well and all of that. So take this feedback and come up with a new prompt. Now we've got product overview, key features, benefits, usage, specs. We got some SEO optimization, and notice now the tone and voice. It's saying, based on the examples, it's already identified what the tone and voice is. It's an engaging tone that resonates with the target audience, reflects the brand's personality, and ensures consistency with existing product descriptions. This could be further refined if you wanted to. in order to, because it says it resonates with the brand audience, but you might actually identify and maybe add 9 and put target audience in there. For this particular client, it's going to be typically males over 35 with foot problems. So I could go through another separate ChatGPT, identifying who that target audience is, and then putting that in here to give it even more information. For this example, I'm not going to. It's also given us an example of how it would, with this new prompt, what that layout is. So I said, okay, this is a good start. But as a marketing expert, so now I'm asking it, okay, take off your prompt hat, put on your marketing expert hat, who has years of experience writing product descriptions. Do you think the user will want to read that wall of text as shown in the example? So it kind of followed one of the prompt examples I gave it, but I told it, I don't want you to follow the layout or structure of it. I wanted you to focus on the tone of voice of it. It kind of followed the structure, so I'm correcting it. I'm trying to get it within the boundaries that I'm looking for. And it responds and says, you're right. Users often prefer more concise, scannable text in product descriptions. Very important. Really, it's the image that's going to sell ultimately. So it has redefined the prompt. And then it's going to give us another example. And then we got introducing, we've got simple one paragraph or one sentence, in fact, comfortable fit, superior cushioning, enhanced traction, standout features. Love this, standout features. If I'm scanning this, oh, okay, yeah, oh, added comfort and support, spot cleaning for easy maintenance, true size. Maybe some of the standout features could be more compelling, but I love where this is going because as a user, I could read this and go, oh yeah, I really want something that is supportive. As an example, Ortholite, that must be a brand name, double insoles. Oh, wow, okay, very cool. Also, why are you gonna love it? And this is another great thing because if you don't resonate as a user with why you're gonna love it, this is probably not the right shoe. I can go back and find a better shoe. Therefore, ideally, people aren't going to return as many shoes because we're really trying to hit on the key points. It's also noted that there is a bonus gift for this manufacturer, this brand, excuse me. The e-commerce store, they provide a heat moldable insert valued at $80. So I love that. And then at the very end are the specifications. This is going to be like the least critical item for a product review. So I love this. And so I let it know, or it's letting me know that this format is more user-friendly, making it easy for a potential customer to quickly find the information they need. And I'm like, hey, I love this. You're on the right path. However, from an SEO perspective, should the prompt include if the product is for man or woman? And yeah, from an SEO point of view, if you're a man looking for hiking shoes, I don't want to find women's hiking shoes. It's not relevant to me. SEO, ChatGPT, I should say, agreed with me. They've redone the prompt. They've given me another example. Now we've got it here. It says this is a must-have for men seeking ultimate comfort and support. And the 267 by Propay happens to be a very comfort-driven shoe, so I love the fact that it's focusing on that. Pretty much the rest of the prompt is all the same. We're pretty good. Now I'm gonna say, I'm like, hey, great, now let's test the prompt for something else. So I'm going to give it a completely different product. This is completely unrelated to the 267. It's a different brand. This is a boot. And so I basically let it know, hey, here is the product and the brand. And what I did is I just copied and pasted directly from the manufacturer's page their description. This is not a compelling description. Nobody's going to get excited reading this, so I want to make it better. Here's what it comes back with. Introducing, I'm not a big fan of introducing. I wouldn't include that. But, okay, we know what the product is, who it's manufactured. Rugged Western style. Love that if you're looking for a rugged Western boot. Safety boot in the fact, then they're saying, hey, in fact, this is a composite work boot. That is great. We're not talking about comfort and squishiness or, anything like that. We're now talking about something that is rugged because this is a work boot. It's got premium crafted, though. It's crafted with premium Crazy Horse leather. So that's kind of a unique selling position on this specific boot. And it's a must-have for any hard-working man. So, I love that the tone of voice has shifted with the type of product. Comfort and fit, they're talking about some of the specifics on it. It's got pull handles for easy on off. Superior protection. Now, because this is a work boot, we're highlighting the key benefits of this boot, which is going to be its superior protection. It's got enhanced durability. And now, again, we've got specs towards the bottom, why you're going to love it. There's also a special offer on this one. And we have a call to action. Now I'm thinking, okay, as a user, do I want to see call to action? Do I want to be told that I'm being sold? Personally, I say no. I say, hey, this is really good, but I'm curious your thoughts on the benefit of the title call to action to the user. And I ask this as a question because one of the things I like to do when I'm creating prompts, and this is, I think, really kind of a pro tip, if you will, is that instead of telling it what to do, if you ask questions, you get a better understanding of what the prompt is thinking. And so then I can go, oh, okay, I see where you're coming from. Maybe I agree with you. Or I can go, okay, I understand where you're coming from, but I disagree with you. Or no, I disagree with you completely. So ChatGPT comes back to me. It says, hey, the call to action in the title, or call to action title, serves an important role in guiding users towards making a choice. And it says that here are the benefits. It gives clarity. It encourages immediate action, it boosts conversion rate, and it has a psychological trigger, using psychological triggers such as scarcity and urgency, and enhances the user experience. Now, I'm going to disagree with ChatGPT on this. It feels that it provides clarity and directs users towards the desired action, which I want it to do. That's really important to me. I just don't like the words that it's using. So I say, hey, what are 5 other title options instead of call to action? And there you go. Here's 5 different options. You can get yours today, ready to upgrade. And then what I love about ChatGPT is it gives me examples. Hey, here's get yours today. Don't wait, ready to upgrade, don't wait. Maybe we don't need to say don't wait every time, but I love that it gives examples and I go, all right, this is better, thank you. Please update the prompt to use don't miss out instead of call to action. It has updated the prompt now according to the change that I've made, and then it's going to give me a example, and we can see down here, it doesn't say call to action, it says don't miss out. To me, it just reads better as a user. Now, the last thing I'm going to do with this is going to code it in a way that's easy for me to digest and put this into action. And so what I've asked it to do is I've said, okay, I'm happy with the prompt right now. I can always go back and tweak it as I want. But I'm asking it to please output this prompt in Markdown. And Markdown is just a format like the double asterisks you saw here. It's going to bold this. And if there's any other, I don't see any other straight code in here. But think of it as HTML, but formatted differently. So I'm asking it to do it in Markdown, and I'm asking it to do in a code box. And instead of outputting like this, where a lot of times there's all this extra text that I then have to copy and remove, is here when you put it in a code box, all I have to do is copy this one piece of code, and I am ready to rock and roll. So as I'm reading through this is my final prompt as I'm reading through it. I'm noticing that it says, prompt for product description. Product, here's the product name, here's the prompt, does everything. However, what it doesn't do is it doesn't actually define the role of the prompt. And I thought, well, that's kind of strange, because if ChatGPT doesn't know what its role is, how well is it going to create a prompt? So I just said, hey, I'm just wondering, since the prompt will be used by ChatGPT, do you think the first part of the prompt should let it know what its role and desired outcome is? Again, I didn't tell it to do it. I'm asking a question so it can reflect on itself and give me an answer so I can understand where it's coming from, and also identify maybe errors in its own logic, because it's trying to answer things specific to the prompt that I've given it. And if I've given it a bad prompt, I may not get the desired results. So I like to ask questions instead of telling it. So here it's saying, hey, you're a marketing expert. Your task is to create engaging, persuasive product descriptions, or product descriptions. So it's given me all that. And then all I have to do is copy it. And so I went ahead and actually saved this. You can see it right over here. I have this product description prompt. I went ahead and I ran it. And it stated at the end, it added a new little wrinkle in the results, and that it said, hey, limited stock available. And I was like, well, hold it. You don't know if there's limited stock. I understand the psychological, from a marketing point of view, tell people it's limited so they have more of an urgency, but I don't want to put that in there. It doesn't match the brand. So I said, hey, well, I understand from a marketing perspective, it can be an important piece, but I want you to update the prompt so it doesn't use this type of language. And in fact, and this is another pro tip, is I want you to add negative keywords so I can up them as needed in the prompt. So here's what it did. It went in and added negative keywords. And essentially what negative keywords are, for those that don't know, is these are going to be keywords or phrases that you don't want to hear. So it automatically added based on limited stock. It's like, hey, hurry, last chance, only a few left out, or only a few left, don't miss out. And this here, if it outputs something that I don't like, I can go ahead and add it here. The other thing you could do is you could have white label keywords. Maybe you want to hear more of something. You could also include white label. This is kind of taking it to another extent. So it also, if you notice, it also outputted in this code box in markdown format. I didn't ask it to do that again, but it remembered that I asked it before. Boom, I can go ahead and copy that. And here we go. So this is the final prompt. I went ahead and saved it as a ChatGPT, or as a GPT, I should say. And if you're not sure how to do that, just click on Explore GPTs, Create. And once you've created a GPT, all you have to do is name it. And then right here in the instructions, this is where you're going to copy and paste that prompt. Go ahead and put that in. If you have any conversation starters, you can put those here. And the conversation starter, in case you don't know, is the button that shows up under the prompt. It's basically telling you what to do, what information to put in the text box. For me, I don't need that. I already know what this prompt is. It's not a public prompt. It's just for the client. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this. And then the other thing I've done is I don't know who R.M. Williams is, but I'm going to copy this. So this is the Comfort Craftsman. This looks like a men's boot. So I'm just going to grab all this information. I don't need the product code. And let's go ahead and test this prompt out. Now, the way I have this structured is that I'm going to say that the Comfort, this is a men's boot. So I'm just going to go here, and I want to give it structure. Comfort Craftsman is a men's boot. And do we know who it's by? I'm assuming this is by R.M. Williams. Men's boot by R.M. Williams. So the way I structure it, just based on the way I like to give ChatGPT information, is one, I like to let it know what product it is, the name, and who the manufacturer is. Then I like to give it a description and a lot of the details. So let's go ahead and see what our output is using this GPT. And you'll notice that there's a consistent feedback or a consistent style now. So if you've got 50 products or 100 products, you can expect it to typically always look like this. So you've got 1 to 2 sentences here. We've got our key features, what the benefits are. Benefits are huge, by the way, usage, and it's able to figure this all out just based on this information here. Now, I don't know about you, but what reads better? This little bit of information or something that really kind of engages, is a little bit more emotionally attached, I think, than what you've got up top here. I think this is a great result. So I'd love to know your thoughts. Let them, leave me a thought below. If you found this information helpful, feel free to like and subscribe. The intent of this is not to just give you a cookie cutter copy and paste prompt, but is really to get you to think about prompting in a different way so that you can create a prompt that's really relevant to your unique voice and what you want, so that you can craft your own prompt that's really going to fit the brand that you're promoting. All right, everybody, until next time, take care. Whew, that was a long one.